Right, we are going around the grounds this hour. We're going to start with the big game of this big weekend on Sky Sports. Manchester City hosting Liverpool in a Super Sunday showdown. It's the 7th of 7 games live on Sky Sports across this weekend from the Premier League. Ben Ransom and Vinny O'Connor have been speaking to both managers for us today. Ben, you were with Pep Guardiola a little earlier on. Let's start off with you. Pep will reach another major landmark. And listen, there are some managers that get nowhere near this number. And that's happening this weekend. Was he in reflective mood as he approaches his 1,000th game as a manager?
Yeah, 1,000 games, and as he pointed out to us, that means around 2,000 press conferences, which I'm sure he would have happily halved that number. But look, it's been a remarkable managerial career so far, hasn't it? Across his time at Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and now here at Manchester City. 3 Champions League titles and 12 league titles across those 3 illustrious clubs. And he shows no sign of slowing down as he heads into his 1,000th game in management against the team that he believes has been his biggest rival since he's been here in England. Obviously, Liverpool have pushed them so close on a number of occasions and indeed beaten them to the title on a couple of occasions. So it really does set the stage for what will be a fantastic match at the weekend. But a lot of the press conference, as you can imagine, was dominated by talk of that 1,000th game and where Pep sees himself in the great pantheon of legendary managers.
How do you feel when people talk about you as the greatest manager there's ever been? What's your...
They are completely right. Yeah, I'm there. That I never start when asked me. I remember my first game here. I never started to think I want to be the best. I never. Mom and Dad don't give me the competitiveness, but not this. I want to die. I want to kill for be the best. No. I'm fine with myself with defeats. I'm fine with accepting that I'm not good. And listen, if I have to choose one rival to this personal, of course, Milestone, that of course I want to share with many people, obviously. That would be the best. If you tell me, because I've been longer than ever in this country, of course Barcelona, the impact in my life and as a ball boy, football player and manager and so on is obviously, and of course Bayern was an incredible step as well. But Liverpool, especially with Jurgen, have been the biggest rival in this country and could not be better, to be honest. So the Destiny universe, I decided for that, and yeah, nice to live it, and now our best.
I know you don't like to look much ahead, but are we going to see you here?
No, don't ask me 1,000 more.
OK, thank you for that, Ben. Let's talk to Vinny about this fixture, because these two teams, in modern times, in the last few years, they have been the 2 dominant forces, the 2 superpowers, you could arguably say. How excited is Arne Slot about this game on Sunday afternoon?
I think he is. I think he holds this fixture in high esteem. Certainly speaking to him today, that was the impression that we got. And of course, he's enjoyed this fixture. In his first season in England, he completed a league double over Manchester City. It's the first time that Liverpool have managed that since the season 2015-2016. That was, incidentally, Jurgen Klopp's first season in charge. But last season, it was Szoboszlai and Salah on the score sheet that took all 3 points at the Etihad. Of course, less than a year ago here at Anfield, it was Mo Salah again on the score sheet with a penalty, but Cody Gakpo opening the scoring on that occasion, of course. And it was also in the same week that Liverpool had beaten Real Madrid. Now, this weekend, they have the opportunity, of course, to leapfrog Manchester City in the table, go into second, into the international break behind Arsenal, of course, in the Premier League title race. And when you consider that Arsenal have lost just 1 game in the Premier League this season, Liverpool have lost 4, Manchester City 3. It's easy for us to bill this as a must-win for both sides, really. From Arne Slot's perspective, he sees it as a must-watch for any football fan.
Very interesting game to look forward to, because when I wasn't working here and when I was in Holland, I did know when City Liverpool was, or where Liverpool City was, and I could tell you I was 100% sure in front of my television when this game was there. Similar to Classico, by the way. I think it's always worth watching because so many great individuals are playing that game. And yeah, these teams 9 out of 10 times give you what you expect. For me, with Pep, that's 10 out of 10, and people should give their opinion about me. But what I liked about Pep Guardiola's teams is that you 10 out of 10 times get what you were hoping for. A great game of football with no time wasting and no all kind of things that I start to dislike more and more and more about football. But these are not the things you can see if you're watching a Man City game.
Ben, let me come back to you. So, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool versus Manchester City. I guess one person who knows El Clásico better than almost anyone else, having played in it and coached around that game, is Pep Guardiola. Does he agree with Slot with that comparison?
Yeah, it was really interesting hearing that from Arne Slot, specifically around the talk around Pep's 999 going into his 1000th game, because Pep spoke about wanting to always try and play football the right way in his time. And I think we've seen that down the years here at Man City and obviously at the clubs that he's been at before. But specifically in these games, we've seen some fantastic football, some great moments, some dramatic moments, generally speaking, plenty of goals as well. And we've also been treated to the raucous atmosphere that is either at the Etihad or at Anfield when the game is played there, because I think the supporters know the importance of this rivalry too. So it's something that I put to Pep Guardiola today. One of the questions that I asked him was exactly that, off the back of what Arne Slot had said, how this rivalry, this fixture compares to the ones that he's been involved in down the years over in La Liga.
But the rumor league is in Barcelona, Madrid, the external noise is 1,000 times higher, louder than here. Here at the end you play a big rivals and you arrive with a sense of peace, you know, and do what you have to do. In the moment of the game, the crowd and the stadium is quite similar, even it's fantastic. Maybe we help Man City to create this rivalry for the last decade, but before I think it was United, Liverpool, I guess, no? And Arsenal also as well, and Chelsea, derbies of London. Here we have our rival was United, I think, for this. But in terms of Jurgen's side or Pep's side, and that, I think we respect a lot each other. And I had the feeling that Jurgen gave me a lot, and I miss him. Gave me a lot in sense of how, well, to beat that guy, how much I have to think and work and do it and make it better.
Vinny, when it comes to a Sky Sports, a big weekend like this one, and it comes to a blockbuster fixture, you want your box office players. And of course that means you'd put, the British transfer record player in that bracket, wouldn't you? Alexander Isak. But he has been out for a fortnight with a groin injury. Could he return for this one?
There's potential for it. Let's say that he has, of course, missed 4 games since he injured that groin against Eintracht Frankfurt. He hasn't even trained, actually, up until this point, at least with his teammates, since sustaining that injury either. Slot did say prior to the Madrid game, actually, that he had a chance of being involved against Manchester City, but that he definitely wouldn't start. And, of course, it's nearly 3 weeks, actually, since he did that injury. When you've had that time out, you're not going to be at full match sharpness. Remember, just before that game against Eintracht Frankfurt, Arne Slot had spoken about judging him properly because he'd had that mini pre-season under his belt now after the protracted move to Liverpool over the summer, and he felt that now was the time to start judging him. It looks like he's asking for a little bit more patience once again when it comes to Alexander Isak, but in terms of being involved against Manchester City, at least the signs are positive.
He will train for the first time today with the team again, so after being 3 weeks out. So I know that I said 3 weeks ago his pre-season has ended, so now it's time for us to see where he is. But I have to come back to those words, because if you're 3 weeks only with the rehab, that doesn't bring you back to the levels he was 3 weeks ago. Although our rehab team is doing an incredible job, but you cannot compare rehab with games of football or training sessions with the team. As much as we try to replicate it, that's simply not possible. So again, I have to say, give him some time.
So potential for Isak to be involved. Definitely no Alisson, although he could return against Nottingham Forest after the international break. And definitely no Jeremy Frimpong, and he'll be out a little bit longer than Alisson still as well.
Remember, guys, this is second against third, City against Liverpool. But City are 6 points behind Arsenal in the title race, Ben. What did Pep Guardiola have to say about his rivals?
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it, to see these two teams that have pushed each other to such heights over the last few seasons, chasing someone else down. But of course, it is something we've seen before. Arsenal have had a track record in recent seasons of putting together these really strong runs of results and kind of laying down the gauntlet to the others. And I think we go back to that 23-24 season when City were able to ultimately chase them down, hunt them down and lift the title at the end of the season. But in doing so, they had to be at their very best. I think in recent matches, Pep Guardiola's been quite consistent. He's got the feeling again around this team. He always says the vibes are good. He can smell something building here. He feels as though this team has come away from that really disappointing campaign last year and they're starting to show him signs that they're at their best, and that gives him confidence, early as it may be this season, that they can and will start to close the gap onto Arsenal.
Well, they continue that way. They play games. They don't concede goals, not even clear chances, and they win. Oh my God, it will be so almost impossible. But always you expect you will be better, and they can drop points after the emotional part of the game, and you can be there. All we can do is win our games and being there close, and they have to come here, and many things in the seasons that we experience. But of course, it's the last 2 or 3 years after the process to rebuild the club and rebuild the team, and being there, go to the market many years, they are there. And of course, it's exceptional what they are doing for already 2 or 3 seasons, and it looks like, and every time it's closer. But we are early November, and early November nobody wins the title. You can lose it, but nobody wins the title.
You can certainly lose it. We saw that from City last year, essentially, didn't we, at this time of year? In terms of team news, the one big absentee potentially this week again could be Rodri. It doesn't sound like, from what Pep Guardiola said, even though he is training with the team, that he will be risked before the international break. I think they are just desperate to get him right and get him fit before they start to consistently throw him into first team action. So we'll wait the team news on Sunday afternoon to see whether he's in the matchday squad again, but it certainly sounded today as though Rodri will probably be given this weekend off, certainly from the starting lineup, as they look to try and close the gap on the leaders.